Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth and Sky, and those of you joining us online, we appreciate it when you like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm going to just get right on into it today as we're talking about the new moon. We did a series of talks a year or two ago, a couple years ago now, on the different full moons and the meaning of each of the full moons and the names and all of that. I wanted to do a little bit more on the new moon. It's been quite a while since we talked about what the new moon is. And new moons are really a beginning. They, of course, happen just once a month, and they signify the start of a cycle. It's the freshness, the brand new, and it's a time to really think about what do you want to bring into this new cycle? What intentions do you want to set? It's almost like a cosmic reset in a way that we have every month as that energy comes to fruition and fullness with the full moon, and then it begins to wane and release as it comes back down to the new moon before that ebbing starts to wax and come back up again. So this is that time to reset, let go, recharge, prepare yourself for whatever your intentions are for this next moon. The new moon is really the most ideal time to set your intentions and to set your goals so that you will begin developing those and manifesting those as the moon waxes and comes back up to the fullness. This new moon that we are approaching now is going to be the new moon in Cancer, and it brings, in a way, an emotional roller coaster that comes with it. Cancer is a water sign along with Pisces and Scorpio, and the water signs are all about emotion for us. And specifically the Cancer moon is really a bit of a challenging time sometimes. It's important to not expect it to be challenging or think of it in a negative connotation, but if you saw our video last week, you're aware of these 3 weeks of tremendous energy that are coming down and flowing all around us. That started about halfway in with the Gemini moon, and now it's continuing quite a bit with the Cancer moon for the next couple of weeks. And just a reminder, as it's a lot of energy coming in, for some that brings up a lot of tension, stress, anger, anxiety, but it doesn't have to. We talked before about emptying out your vessel and expanding your vessel, and how when you do that, you can bring in this energy and allow that pressure to convert to diamonds as you start picking up these treasures along the way. The Cancer new moon can assist you with that too. It can feel, as I mentioned, like an emotional roller coaster with the mind, the body, and the spirit at times. Cancer reminds us, its job is to remind us to feel. And sometimes we try to stuff our feelings down or hide them or not acknowledge them or just expect them to go away eventually because we don't want to deal with them. But they don't really go away. They start building within us. And sometimes if you don't express it, it begins to overflow. So Cancer's energy is one of those that has us tap back in and say, what's been going on with me? What am I feeling? How do I need to acknowledge this? What things should I address? What things do I need to let go, forgive, offer grace? What things do I need to recognize as lessons that I'm changing and increasing my awareness within myself about? Cancer season really ushers in a time to slow down, to be patient, and to feel. And when you're getting in touch with your emotions, it is important sometimes to slow down, to remind yourself that what you're feeling isn't necessarily something negative. It is what it is. And when you feel it and you acknowledge it for what it is, then you can also let it go. You can look deeper to see what the lesson is that it's bringing, and then let it go and choose where you are going. We don't need to be controlled by our emotions, but we do need to acknowledge what it is that we're feeling instead of just denying it. As I mentioned, Cancer is one of 3 water signs. Scorpio and Pisces are the others. And if you are one of those signs, if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is one of those 3, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, then you might be feeling this pressure a little bit more than the rest of us. So just know you might want to buckle your seatbelts a little bit and really intentionally pay attention to what you're feeling, recognizing that the new moon is a time to reflect. When we have a new moon, it's because the Earth's shadow is blocking out the light of the sun reflecting on the moon. In that same way, it reminds us to look at our shadow side, to look at those parts of us that sometimes we don't acknowledge within ourselves, that we maybe don't want to look at because they seem like they might be scary, but they're really not scary when you just face it head on and acknowledge it. And this is a really good time to pay attention to those energies. Whenever we enter the water energies, it's really that invitation that we're receiving to feel, to recognize where we're at, and to be very honest, exploring ourselves, exploring where healing is needed within your emotional nature, within your relationships, your family, your home. Perhaps practicing self-care is a really good idea during this time. Doing things like receiving massage or Reiki, practicing your yoga or your meditation, maybe taking some extra walks out in nature is a really good time during this cycle of the moon and throughout the next couple of weeks especially. Perhaps giving yourself time to curl up with a good book or journal, maybe take it all the way to the edge and journal next to a body of water and allow yourself to just feel, release. If you need to cry or if you need to scream in private and get it all out and allow yourself to create that space within your vessel and then expand the light in your vessel by allowing yourself to open to greater clarity and to focus on gratitude as well. Whatever it is that feeds your soul, that's really what you need to have at this time to nurture those things, to nourish, and to not hide from your shadow, but to explore it and to recognize it's part of you. Cancer season is all about slowing down enough to feel the emotions that conveniently we have avoided until this time. And again, as it ties in with that 3-week portal of energy, it really is important to recognize that tremendous volume of energy that is all around us right now, and to recognize when you're seeing other people feeling a lot of pressure or under a lot of stress, or maybe somebody gets short with you and it doesn't feel fair or justified, recognizing the importance of staying out of our ego and not rising toe-to-toe with someone who's going through that, but instead practicing patience, offering grace. When you do that, and when you feel your own temper getting a bit short, and instead of lashing out with somebody, you allow yourself to calm within yourself, and you give grace, and you remind yourself of what there is to be grateful for in your life, because I can guarantee there are some things to be grateful for no matter where you are right now within your life. And when you do that, you're going to start changing that pressures into the diamonds that will help you with energy throughout the entire rest of the year coming up. It can be easy to sometimes feel like you're going to explode, whether it's with anger or with tears, but it doesn't have to feel that way. Just continue to pay attention to emptying your vessel, focusing on gratitude. Expand your vessel by sharing the light with others, caring for other people as well, and really remembering that it's important to focus so much on gratitude. As you process your emotions, look really deeply within yourself and ask, what have you learned from these different experiences? There may be emotions from events that happened a few months ago or maybe even years ago that are starting to surface because you hadn't quite dealt with it before, or maybe you thought you had dealt with it, but it's coming in at a deeper level because now you're ready to heal at a deeper level that you weren't ready for before. So when these energies are coming up, ask yourself some of the deep questions and be very honest with yourself. Why am I feeling this? Why did this happen? What did this bring in to teach me? A good question to phrase, in my opinion, is to say, if I am the creator and the director of my movie, then I must have caused this to happen for a reason. So what would that reason be? And leave out any judgment, leave out any anger, anything like that, and just recognize, find where the diamonds are in all of the things that have happened. This is a perfect time to look into the shadow side and really dig deeply into some of those questions. And also to recognize what good came out of the situation. I think sometimes we get stuck in a mode of trauma or a mode of feeling like a victim because we get stuck in stories sometimes. The stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we tell others when we share the events of what happened to us, and we don't recognize how trapped we can get in sharing the same story over and over. And I know you don't want to ever be in victim mentality. It's not a fun place to be, and you would like to think of yourself as strong. So recognize, really be honest with your assessment of yourself, not judging, but look to see, are you the victim of your story and some of the stories or some of the emotions that you're going through? How can you rise out of that victim mentality and recognize what that situation was there to teach you? How did you get stronger from it? How did you increase the grace within yourself? How did you learn? And how did you increase your light by coming out of that situation into where you are now? If you haven't moved out of that energy yet, use this time to heal and to stand in the strength and the grace that is the light that you are truly inside. Being careful as you're examining these emotions, both to not fall into victim mentality or martyr mentality. Really take care of yourself so that you're not overextending yourself for everyone else either. Again, this moon really hits the reset button on our emotional state. For those of you that have the water sign, recognizing how you can use this as a great way to reset, renew, and recharge yourself as we come through these energies. During the new moon of Cancer, there are a few different various aspects of your life that are really aligned with the energy of Cancer. It equates quite a bit to a 6 in numerology if you're looking at the numbers in your life. Cancer is the sign that really is about nurturing, family, home, feeling at home within yourself, and being able to recognize what areas would best be suited for you to focus on. You might feel drawn during this period to do some nesting. Maybe you're purging and clearing things out of your home, or maybe you're reorganizing or redecorating. This moon will bring out those traits quite often. And there's a few steps that you can do to help you along the way. I have 6 steps that you may want to consider here. The first one is emotional healing. During this time, use this time to dive into your emotions, as I mentioned, and work on the emotional healing that may be needed. Reflect on your past experiences. Journal your feelings. If you feel like you need it, then seek counseling or therapy. Sometimes it can really help to talk to somebody that is a professional, that is also impartial to any of the people in your life, and can help you gain some perspective and how to move into new ways of thinking about it. Self-care and nurturing. Cancer energy is all about nurturing and taking care of yourself. So take this opportunity to prioritize self-care, activities that make you feel nourished, things that make you feel loved. It can be as simple as a long bath, listening to a sound meditation, practicing mindfulness, going for a walk, or comforting meals, whatever it is that brings you comfort and joy. The third thing is with your home and family life. The new moon of Cancer is that ideal time to really focus on your relationships. Really maybe take an intake within yourself. What relationships are going really well? What relationships in your life are struggling? Where do you contribute to the struggle in those relationships? Again, without judgment, but take an honest assessment of your part in it. I think it's very easy to kind of blame the other person when there's frustration, but when you figure out where you have a role in it, you take your power back to be able to do something, to be the hero in the relationship. You can declutter and organize your living space, create a cozy, inviting atmosphere. Maybe you'll have a little nook that you want to create in a bedroom or in your living room. That's your special place to just de-stress and relax. Spending quality time with your loved ones, nurturing and strengthening those bonds is a really good thing to do during this time of energy. The fourth tip would be setting boundaries. Cancer energy tends to be very sensitive and also very compassionate, but it's also essential to establish healthy boundaries. Sometimes we do have certain relationships, and this goes back into not being the martyr, not being the victim, where we need to have some healthy boundaries that are us standing up for ourselves in a healthy, kind, and compassionate way. Use this new moon energy to reflect on any areas where you need to set boundaries to protect your own emotional well-being. Practice asserting yourself, communicating your needs effectively. This energy can really help, and it would be good if you want to start doing that, to start with that now as this new moon is just coming in, and continue working with it every day over the next couple of weeks as the moon is waxing, and it's going to help bring that to fruition at the full moon where you can stand really strong within yourself. The fifth thing is intuition and dreams. Cancer is an intuitive sign, so pay attention to your inner voice right now. Trust your gut instincts during this time. Practice listening to your intuition and allow it to guide you when you're making decisions or when you're navigating different situations, trying to figure out how you want to handle certain things. Sometimes we ask other people, sometimes we just go with what our habit has been. It's really good to do that inner work right now and figure out, how do I want to navigate this? And think within your mind what you think each of the different outcomes would be as you walk yourself through the scenarios. This is a good time to do that and to self-reflect, which is the sixth thing, self-reflection and goal setting. Use the introspective energy of the new moon to reflect on your goals and your aspirations. Maybe create a vision board. That would be fantastic with the Cancer moon, to really particularly focus in areas of your life relating to your emotional well-being, your family life, and personal growth. Set intentions and create a plan for achieving these goals, and the energy is going to be on your side, especially when you combine in the Cancer new moon energy. The next 2 weeks that we have of all of this energy coming in, as long as you're expanding your vessel, clearing things out, flowing in the light of gratitude, you're going to be ready to bring in so many diamonds that are going to be coming into fruition with many miracles throughout this next year in your life. Remember that new moon energy is a time of new beginnings, so it's always a great opportunity, whichever new moon it is, to set intentions and plant seeds for the future. Allow yourself to connect with the energy of Cancer and align your focus with what feels nurturing and supportive for you at this time. One of the things I sometimes suggest to people at the new moon is to write your checks with the universe. You can write checks from the universe as you connect in with new moon energy, and this can be something where you're receiving money, you're receiving peace, clarity, understanding, healing, or something else. Whatever it is you're wanting to bring into your life, write that as a check. Write who it's from and who it's to and when you want that to come into fruition. You would want to date it the day of the new moon, and then you will be cashing that in over the next couple of weeks as it comes into fruition on the full moon. Whatever your goal is to bring in this month, focus on it, see it. Feel gratitude that either this or something better, because we always want to leave up to whatever's best for our life, because we don't always know what that is, and the universe does. Focus on it, see it, feel gratitude that this or something else that's better is already on its way to you now. And then release it to the universe. When we're manifesting anything, as we release it out to the universe, we're able to watch it come into our lives. I hope this gives you some great food for thought as you prepare to have a wonderful, fantastic Sunday, and I hope you're all enjoying this time of year. Have a great day, everyone.